The Awakening. The quantum array wasn't supposed to sing. Sarah Chen stood frozen in the control room of the Quantum Communications Research Facility, listening to the impossible melody emanating from the experimental transmitter. The massive device, a compilation of cutting-edge technology that had consumed 5 years of her life, was producing harmonics that made her bones vibrate and her vision blur. Dr. Chen. Her assistant Marcus called from the observation deck above. The readings are off the charts. Should we shut it down? Sarah didn't respond immediately. The song pulsing through the facility was familiar somehow, like a half-remembered lullaby. Her fingers moved across the control panel without conscious thought, adjusting frequencies and power levels in perfect synchronization with the melody. Dr. Chen. Marcus's voice had an edge of panic now. The energy signature is climbing exponentially. The quantum array's central crystal chamber began to glow with an otherworldly blue light. Sarah knew she should be terrified, should be following emergency protocols, but instead felt an overwhelming sense of rightness. This was supposed to happen. She'd been waiting for this moment her entire life, even if she hadn't known it. "Everyone clear the facility," she ordered, her voice steady despite the mounting chaos. "I need to stay with the array." "But the radiation is not radiation at all," Sarah interrupted. "Trust me, Marcus. Get everyone out. Now." The evacuation alarms blared as her team rushed to comply. But Sarah barely noticed. The song had changed, becoming more complex, more urgent. Her hands danced across the controls, and the quantum array responded like an instrument being tuned to perfect pitch. The blue light intensified until it filled the entire chamber. Sarah's skin tingled as if charged with static electricity. The song reached a crescendo, and suddenly she wasn't alone in her mind anymore. "We have found you, signal bearer." The words weren't in English, weren't in any human language, but Sarah understood them perfectly. A presence vast and ancient touched her consciousness, and images flooded her mind. Great fleets of crystalline ships moving between the stars, civilizations rising and falling across millennia, and a network of quantum gates connecting the galaxy like strands in a cosmic web. "Who are you?" she whispered. "We are the Meridian Collective. We have waited long for one such as you to emerge." Before Sarah could process this, new alarms blared through the facility. Security alerts. Multiple breaches at the perimeter. Through the facility's cameras, she watched sleek figures in biomechanical armor moving with inhuman grace through the corridors. "The Voidborn have detected your awakening," the presence warned. "They come to claim you." "Claim me? I don't understand. What's happening?" "You carry the signal, child of Earth. The ability to interface with the ancient networks. It sleeps in many of your kind, waiting to be awakened. The Voidborn would enslave this gift, use it to dominate all spacefaring races. We cannot allow this." The armored figures were getting closer. Sarah could hear weapons fire and screams from somewhere in the building. Her heart raced, but her mind remained surprisingly clear. "What do I do?" "Trust your instincts, signal bearer. The knowledge is within you, placed there by those who came before. Let it surface." Sarah closed her eyes and let the song guide her. Her fingers moved across the quantum array's controls one final time, and the blue light coalesced into a swirling portal of energy. Through the facility's cameras, she saw the Voidborn warriors break into the control room. Just as she stepped into the light, the quantum transition felt like being turned inside out and reassembled. When Sarah's vision cleared, she found herself in a vast crystalline chamber. Beams of light and energy moved around her, their forms barely comprehensible to human eyes. "Welcome to the Meridian Sanctuary." The familiar presence touched her mind again. "Here you will learn what you truly are, and why humanity was chosen to bear the signal." Chosen. Sarah's scientific mind raced with questions. "You engineered us. We guided your evolution, yes, but not to create servants or weapons. We sought to create equals, inheritors. Your species carries within it the potential to restore balance to a galaxy torn by war and conquest." A holographic display materialized. showing Earth under attack. Voidborn ships were appearing in orbit, their sleek black forms a stark contrast to the blue and green of her home world. They will not stop hunting you now that they know what humanity possesses. But you are not defenseless. The signal is awakening in others of your kind. They will need a guide, a leader who can show them the way. Sarah watched the invasion unfold with a mixture of terror and determination. Then teach me. Teach me everything I need to know to protect Earth. So it begins. The presence seemed to resonate with approval. The awakening of humanity's true potential. Your training starts now, signal bearer. Time is short, and there is much you must learn. The crystalline chamber hummed with power as ancient knowledge began flowing into Sarah's mind. Humanity's greatest trial was about to begin, and she was now at the center of it all. The quantum array song still echoed in her thoughts, but now she recognized it for what it was, a key turning in a lock that had kept humanity isolated for millennia. That isolation was over. For better or worse, Earth was about to take its place on the galactic stage. Would you like me to continue with Part 2? I can maintain this style and pacing while advancing the story toward the larger conflict between humanity's awakening potential and the forces that would suppress it. The hunt begins. 15 kilometers above Earth's surface, Sarah watched her homeworld burn. The Meridian Crystalline Observatory provided a perfect view of the Voidborn invasion. Their ships, angular constructs of dark metal that seemed to absorb light, methodically established a blockade around major population centers. They hadn't started bombing yet, but Sarah knew it was only a matter of time. Your species' military forces are mobilizing, observed Talara, her Meridian mentor. The beam's form shifted like Aurora Borealis given consciousness, but their weapons cannot harm Voidborn vessels. Then give us better weapons, Sarah demanded, pressing her hand against the observatory's crystal wall. You say humanity was chosen. Help us fight back. Direct intervention would trigger an immediate genocide. Talara's thoughts carried undertones of ancient regret. The Voidborn Empire controls 70% of known space. They maintain power through technological superiority. If we reveal ourselves, they will destroy Earth rather than risk losing their dominance. A new alert pulsed through the crystal networks. Sarah had spent the last 12 hours learning to interpret the Meridian's quantum data streams, and this signature was unmistakable. More Voidborn ships entering the system. Not Voidborn, Talara corrected. Watch. 3 vessels emerged from quantum space, their design unlike anything Sarah had seen before. Where Voidborn ships were angular and dark, these were organic curves covered in what looked like living metal. They immediately engaged the Voidborn blockade, their weapons cutting through the supposedly impenetrable armor. The Razeth Collective, Talara explained. Former slaves of the Voidborn who broke free centuries ago. They seek allies against their former masters, and they're helping us. They seek to help themselves. Your ability to interface with ancient technology makes humanity valuable. The Razeth would rather see Earth as an ally than under Voidborn control. The battle in orbit intensified. Razeth ships were outnumbered but holding their own, creating gaps in the Voidborn blockade. Sarah's trained engineer's mind analyzed their tactics, noting how they used quantum space distortions to appear and disappear at will. The Voidborn will soon begin planetary assault, Talara warned. We must act now. Are you prepared? Sarah nodded. The past 12 hours had changed her understanding of reality forever. The Meridians had shown her the truth about human potential, how certain bloodlines had been seeded with dormant abilities millennia ago. The signal, they called it. The capacity to interface with and control ancient quantum technologies that predated even the Meridians themselves. I'm ready, she said, though her voice wavered slightly. Send me back. Remember, Talara's form pulsed with urgency. Find the others like you. Awaken them. Humanity's defense depends on activating enough signal bearers before the Voidborn can establish full control. The crystal chamber hummed as quantum energies began to swirl. Before the transition took her, Sarah saw new alerts flashing across the observatory displays. The Voidborn were launching dropships. The ground invasion of Earth had begun. Reality twisted, and Sarah found herself back in her lab at the Quantum Communications Research Facility. Emergency lights cast red shadows across abandoned equipment. The quantum array she'd helped design, now recognized as a crude approximation of ancient technology, stood silent. "Don't move," a voice growled behind her. Sarah turned slowly, raising her hands. A figure in biomechanical armor had a weapon trained on her, but something was wrong. The armor was damaged, sparking in places, and the beam's movements seemed pained. "You're hurt," she observed. "Razeth weapons are effective," the Voidborn warrior admitted, "but not as effective as they'd hope." The warrior's helmet retracted, revealing features that were almost human but not quite. Pale skin, solid black eyes, and two sharp angles to the face. "You're going to kill me?" Sarah asked, surprised by her own calm. "No." The warrior lowered the weapon slightly. "I'm going to help you." "Why would a Voidborn warrior help me?" "Because I've spent centuries enforcing the Empire's lies. Because I've seen what they do to species with the signal. And because I'm tired of serving those who would keep the galaxy in chains." The warrior's black eyes fixed on her. Was Commander Zextar of the Voidborn Suppression Fleet. "And I have information you need." Before Sarah could respond, the facility's walls shook with nearby explosions. Zextar's helmet snapped back into place. "More forces are coming. My former brothers in arms. We need to move." "Why should I trust you?" "Because right now, I'm the only thing standing between you and a Voidborn detention center where they'll dissect your brain to understand how you access the signal." Zextar extended an armored hand. "Choose quickly, signal bearer. Trust me or trust the Empire." Another explosion, closer this time. Through the facility's windows, Sarah saw dropships descending through Earth's atmosphere like falling stars. Each one carried troops intent on capturing people like her, humans with the potential to upset the galaxy's balance of power. She took Zextar's hand. What followed was a blur of motion and combat. Zextar's armor enhanced their speed as they ran through the facility, avoiding or eliminating patrols with brutal efficiency. Sarah's newly awakened abilities let her interface with the building systems, sealing doors and adjusting environmental controls to cover their escape. They emerged into chaos. Military helicopters engaged Voidborn dropships over the city. Emergency vehicles raced through streets clogged with panicked civilians. The sky was dark with smoke and alien ships. "I have a secure location," Zextar said as they ducked into an abandoned parking structure. "But first, you need to understand what's really happening. Why the Empire fears humanity so much. Tell me." "The signal isn't just about controlling ancient tech. It's about accessing the quantum gates, a network of instantaneous transport points spread across the galaxy. The Voidborn rose to power by controlling these gates, but they can't activate them. They can only use existing active points. And humans can activate them. Certain humans, signal bearers like you. The Meridians engineered your species to inherit this ability, but the Empire found Earth before you were ready. They've kept your world isolated, letting you advance just enough to be useful, but not enough to threaten them." More explosions lit the sky. Sarah watched an alien dropship crash into a skyscraper, sending debris raining down on the streets below. This was her fault, in a way. Her work with the quantum array had accelerated humanity's development, drawn attention they weren't ready for. "How many?" she asked. "How many humans have the signal?" "Thousands. Maybe millions, but they need to be awakened, trained, and we're running out of time." Zextar's armor reformed, becoming less militaristic, more civilian. "The Empire will begin rounding up humans for testing within hours. We need to find other signal bearers and get them to safety." Sarah thought of her family, her colleagues, all the innocent people caught in this conflict. But she also thought of the Meridian's warning, humanity's true potential, waiting to be unlocked. A chance not just to survive, but to change the galaxy's future. "Then let's get started," she said. Above them, the battle for Earth's future raged on. But the real war, the fight to awaken humanity's hidden power, was just beginning. Would you like me to continue with Part 3? We can explore how Sarah and Zextar begin finding and awakening other signal bearers while uncovering more about humanity's true purpose in the galaxy. The hidden truth. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a bunker that didn't officially exist, Sarah watched the world change through a wall of holographic displays. It had been 3 days since first contact, and Earth was transforming in ways no one could have predicted. Another signal bearer awakened in Singapore, Zextar reported, his modified Voidborn armor now adorned with resistance markings. That makes 17 in the last 24 hours. Sarah nodded, her attention fixed on footage of a teenage girl in Mumbai who'd automatically activated a buried quantum gate while fleeing Voidborn forces. The gate had transported 3 city blocks and everyone in them to safety, leaving behind a perfectly circular crater. "They're manifesting faster than the Empire can track them," she observed. "But it's not fast enough." The displays showed the broader situation: Voidborn control of major cities, systematic roundups of potential signal bearers, and the ongoing space battle as Razith forces tried to break the orbital blockade. Humanity was fighting back with everything they had, but conventional weapons were nearly useless against Voidborn technology. "The quantum archive is ready," called Dr. Hayes, one of the few colleagues Sarah had managed to rescue from the research facility. The elderly physicist had adapted to the reality of alien technology with remarkable enthusiasm. "You should see this." Sarah followed Hayes to the bunker's central chamber, where they'd installed salvaged, Voidborn quantum processors modified with her signal-bearer abilities. The machines interfaced with an ancient data core Zextar had stolen during his defection. "We've decoded another layer of the Meridian genetic programming," Hayes explained, bringing up complex DNA models. "It's extraordinary. They didn't just give us the signal. They'd rebuilt human consciousness from the ground up, preparing us for something specific." "Show me." The holographic display shifted, revealing patterns that made Sarah's enhanced senses tingle. She could feel the quantum information reaching out to her, wanting to be understood. Her mind processed it instinctively, translating alien concepts into human understanding. "We're not just inheritors," she breathed. "We're the reset button." "Explain." Zextar moved closer, his black eyes reflecting the holographic light. "The ancient quantum gate network. It's not just for transportation. It's a galactic engineering system. The Meridians built it to guide the development of intelligent life, to prevent any one species from dominating others. But something went wrong. The Voidborn happened." Zextar's voice carried centuries of bitterness. "They found ways to use the gates without truly understanding them, built their empire on stolen technology. And the Meridians couldn't directly intervene without causing worse destruction." Sarah continued, the pieces falling into place. "So they created us. Humans aren't just capable of activating the gates, we can reprogram the entire network." New alarms blared through the bunker. Multiple contacts entering Earth's atmosphere. Sarah pulled up the tactical display and felt her heart sink. They know. Dozens of massive Voidborn dreadnoughts were appearing in orbit, far larger than anything they'd deployed so far. These weren't invasion ships. They were planet killers. "The Empire is executing Protocol Zero." Zextar's normally controlled voice shook slightly. "They'll glass the planet rather than let humans reach our full potential." "How long do we have?" "Hours at most. Those ships carry entropy weapons that break down matter at the quantum level. Nothing survives." Sarah's mind raced. They couldn't evacuate billions of people in hours. The awakened signal bearers weren't numerous or trained enough to make a difference. Unless... The archive. She turned to Hayes. "You said we found coordinates for a primary network hub." "Yes, in what you call the Kuiper Belt, a quantum gate complex that can control all others in this sector of the galaxy. but it's heavily guarded by automated void-borne defenses, a suicide mission. Not if we wake up every signal bearer on Earth simultaneously. The room went silent. Zextar stepped forward, understanding dawning in his alien features. The genetic programming. It's like a quantum network itself. If one signal bearer could reach the hub, they could activate every dormant bearer on the planet. Sarah finished. An instant awakening of humanity's full potential. Millions of people suddenly able to access and control the galaxy's most powerful technology. The backlash would be catastrophic, Hayes warned. That much quantum energy, that many minds suddenly connecting. It could tear the planet apart. Better than letting the Voidborn destroy us completely. Sarah turned to Zextar. You know their defenses. Can you get me to that hub? The former Voidborn commander was quiet for a long moment. Yes, he finally said. But there's something you need to know first. Something I've suspected since I began studying the archive. He interfaced with the quantum processors, bringing up new data streams. The Meridians didn't just engineer humans to reset the gate network. They designed you to replace them, to become what they once were, guardians of galactic balance. The signal isn't a tool or a weapon. It's an evolutionary key. Sarah stared at the data, understanding its implications. Humanity wasn't meant to just survive this crisis. They were meant to transcend it, to become something new. The Voidborn feared them because deep in their stolen quantum technology, they'd seen what humanity could become. More alarms. The dreadnoughts were moving into position. Time was running out. Get me to that hub, Sarah ordered. We're about to show the galaxy exactly what humanity is capable of. The bunker erupted into action as they prepared for their desperate mission. Above them, Voidborn planet killers moved into position to execute their species. But Sarah felt an odd calm. The Meridians had planned for this moment for millennia, seeded Earth's children with the potential to rewrite the rules of existence itself. Now it was time to use that potential. Would you like me to continue with Part 4? We can follow Sarah and Zextar's mission to reach the hub while Earth's military makes its final stand against the Voidborn fleet. Resistance rising. The stolen Voidborn shuttle screamed through Earth's upper atmosphere, its hull glowing from the heat of re-entry. In the pilot's seat, Zextar's fingers danced across living metal controls, while Sarah interfaced directly with the ship's quantum systems. Behind them, 20 awakened signal bearers lay in neural interface pods, their minds linked through Sarah to form a primitive quantum network. Dreadnought formation at 80%, Zextar reported. 16 minutes until they achieve optimal firing position for planetary bombardment. Through the shuttle's view screen, Sarah watched the massive Voidborn ships move with terrible precision. Each one was a city-sized monument to destructive power, capable of reducing Earth's surface to molecular ash. But they weren't the immediate threat. Multiple interceptors on approach, she announced, feeling the enemy ships through her quantum awareness. They've detected our launch. Expected. Zextar's armor merged with his pilot's chair, enhancing his neural connection to the shuttle. Ready the quantum burst. Sarah closed her eyes, connecting deeper with the other signal bearers. Their combined power flowed through her, raw and unstable but potent. As Voidborn interceptors closed in, she released a pulse of quantum energy that briefly disrupted their targeting systems. That won't work twice, she gasped, the effort leaving her drained. We need a miracle. As if in answer, new signatures appeared on their sensors. The remaining Razith ships dropped out of quantum space, engaging the interceptors. A message flashed across their communications. For freedom. For change. For Earth. She dove deeper into the quantum link, pushing her awareness to its limits. The other signal bearers joined her, 20 minds searching through layers of reality most humans had never known existed. And there, hidden in the background radiation of space itself, they found it. A key, Sarah breathed, encoded into the quantum fabric of the solar system. The Meridians left us a backdoor. Noob alarms blared through the shuttle. The dreadnoughts had achieved firing position. Energy readings were spiking as they prepared their entropy weapons. "Whatever you're going to do," Zextar's voice was tense, "do it quickly." Sarah reached out to the awakening signal bearers on Earth, extending her quantum network as far as she could. Multiple minds touched hers, hundreds, then thousands, as humans across the planet instinctively responded to her call. She felt their confusion, their terror, their determination to survive. The Meridians didn't just give us the ability to control quantum technology, she realized. They gave us the ability to evolve beyond it, to become something new. Through the growing network of human consciousness, Sarah began feeding out the knowledge they'd discovered in the archives. The truth about humanity's purpose, the potential locked within their engineered DNA, the power to reshape reality itself. As the dreadnoughts opened fire, humanity started to change. Humanity ascended. Reality rippled across the solar system as humanity began to transcend. In Earth's cities, millions of dormant signal bearers awakened simultaneously, their combined consciousness creating a quantum network that stretched across the planet. Sarah felt them all through her connection. Miners in Australia, teachers in Brazil, children in Kenya, each suddenly aware of their true potential. The void-born dreadnoughts fired their entropy weapons, beams of pure destruction lancing toward Earth's surface. But they never reached their targets. Newly awakened signal-bearers instinctively reached out, their combined will bending quantum space itself. The deadly energy dissipated into harmless radiation. "Impossible," Zextar whispered, watching the displays as their shuttle approached the hub. "They're accessing abilities that should take centuries to master." The Meridians planned for this moment, Sarah responded, her consciousness split between the shuttle and the vast network of human minds. Everything they encoded into our DNA. It wasn't just about controlling technology. It was about transcending it. Through their quantum connection, she felt humanity's collective awakening. People were changing, their minds expanding beyond normal space-time. As ancient genetic programming activated, the signal wasn't just an interface ability, it was an evolutionary catalyst. "Multiple contacts," Zextar warned. "The hub's outer defenses are activating." Clouds of quantum minds swarmed toward them, reality-warping weapons that could tear their shuttle apart at the subatomic level. But Sarah was ready. Through the network, she accessed the Meridian key hidden in the solar system's quantum fabric. Information flooded her enhanced consciousness. Passwords, backdoors, and override codes written into the very structure of space. The minds deactivated. Defense platforms went dark. The hub's ancient security systems recognized humanity's quantum signature and stood down. "We're clear to dock," Zextar announced, his voice filled with awe. "They're actually letting us in." The hub was a massive structure of crystalline quantum processors and neural interfaces, far more advanced than anything the Voidborn had built. As they docked, Sarah felt its systems reaching out to her, recognizing what she and her species had become. But they weren't safe yet. On Earth, the Voidborn fleet was launching ground forces in a desperate bid to stop humanity's transformation. The quantum network carried images of battles across the planet as humans instinctively wielded their new powers against the invasion. The hub's central chamber, Zextar led them through crystalline corridors. From there, you can access the entire gate network. Sarah moved with purpose, the 20 linked signal bearers following in perfect synchronization. The hub's systems responded to their presence, interfaces activating, ancient machinery humming to life. In the central chamber, a massive quantum core pulsed with potential. "This is what the Empire feared," Zextar said. "Not just humans controlling the gates, but humans becoming what the Meridians intended, a species of guardians, maintaining balance in the galaxy." Sarah stepped into the core's interface field, and her consciousness exploded outward. She could feel every quantum gate in the galaxy, every thread of space-time that connected them. Through the network, millions of human minds joined with hers, their collective will focusing on a single purpose: The gates activated simultaneously. Reality shifted. Space-time rippled as humanity exerted its new power. Voidborne ships found themselves teleported light years away from Earth. Others simply ceased to exist as humans instinctively rewrote the quantum laws that govern their technology. But the transformation wasn't stopping. The Meridian's genetic programming was still unfolding, pushing humanity toward its ultimate destiny. Sarah felt her physical form becoming less solid, her consciousness expanding beyond normal spacetime. Through the network, she sensed the same thing happening to signal bearers across Earth. "It's beautiful," she heard Zextar say, watching as her form shifted into patterns of pure quantum energy. "You're becoming like them, like the Meridians themselves." The process couldn't be stopped now. Humanity was ascending, transforming into beings of pure consciousness and quantum energy. But they weren't losing their humanity. They were fulfilling it. Sarah felt the qualities that made them human: creativity, determination, compassion, being enhanced rather than erased. Through the Gate network, she broadcast a message to the galaxy. The age of empires is over. We are humanity ascendant, children of Earth and heirs to the Meridians. We claim our place as guardians of balance, protectors of freedom, and shepherds of evolution. The gates are open to all who would join us in peace, but never again will one species dominate another. The galaxy is entering a new era. Across Earth, millions of humans completed their transformation, becoming beings of light and thought and quantum possibility. They were still themselves, still human in all the ways that mattered, but now they could reshape reality itself. The signal had become their nature rather than just their ability. Sarah turned to Zextar, her form now a constellation of quantum energy patterns. "Will you help us? There will be others who resist this change. The Empire won't fall in a day." The former Voidborne commander nodded. "I chose humanity's potential over the Empire's stagnation. I choose it still." Through the quantum network, Sarah felt the joy and wonder of her transformed species as they explored their new existence. They had faced extinction and instead found transcendence. Earth would become a beacon of change, a place where physical and quantum reality merged, where consciousness evolved beyond its limits. Humanity had not just survived, they had become something greater. And the galaxy would never be the same. In the vast quantum spaces between stars, the ancient consciousness of the Meridians stirred, watching their children take their first steps into a larger reality. Their long plan had succeeded. The galaxy had its guardians once again. And this was only the beginning.